Hello, I'm Simon. Welcome to my workshop, and in this video I'm going to be unboxing and assembling the optional sliding table for the Axminster AC216TS table saw. Let's get tinkering. The sliding table kit comes in two boxes. This is box 1 of 2. The cabinet, which was an optional accessory for the table saw, had one missing nut. The table saw itself had one missing nut, and the auxiliary fence was damaged. Let's see if this has fared better. So what have we got? I don't know what any of these parts are yet. This looks like the piece is the clamp that clamps pieces of wood. It's a pretty solid piece of kit. It's cast iron. Looks pretty solid. This is the mitre gauge adjustment tool. Again, it's cast iron by the looks of things, and a little knob for it. And a washer. This is the flag stop. Looks like it's aluminium. It's a pretty meaty flag. That's probably 9 or 10 millimeters in thickness. It's pretty solid. It's quite a chunky piece of kit. Here are some very thick, I would say 3 or 4 millimeter steel brackets that will go on the side of the table saw to hold the sliding mechanism. There are various nuts and bolts and fixing blocks. Your obligatory Allen key. This is a shaft of some sort. I'll work out what that's for later. This is the sliding carriage. It's aluminium, like it's extruded aluminium, with a cast and a steel base. Quite a bit of chipping on the paint. I had the same with the table saw itself. It's quite a heavy piece of kit, but it's aluminium, not cast iron, if you was thinking it was cast iron, but it looks pretty solid. This is box 2 of 2. Here we have a large piece of extruded aluminium, pretty long, so it's probably a metre, 1.2 metres. This looks like the fence. It's already got the tape on it, and then it looks like some plastic caps for this piece, and it doesn't come with any instructions, or assembly of this is detailed in the instructions you get with the actual table saw, so we'll use those. The table saw itself has fixing points for these brackets, providing a very secure foundation for the sliding table. The threads I'm installing allow adjustment of the bracket with respect to the table saw. I'll use these later to get everything level and square. So I'm missing a couple of parts. There's supposed to be a locking nut on this thread. It says here, find the two height adjusting blocks, which are these things. Unscrew the height adjuster thread and remove the locking nut to give you access to the cap head bolt. There is no locking nut on it. And I can unscrew it to get access to the cap head bolt, but no locking nut. Later on, here we go. There's the locking nut that I don't have. So I'm missing that bit there. I have to look in my hardware drawer to see if I've got something suitable. Thankfully I found a couple in the hardware drawer. Fitting the adjustment block under the bracket is a little fiddly. Then adding the missing locking nuts fiddlier still. So this part, it would be a lot easier if the instructions said fit these bits first, then fit these bits. The rail the table slides on can be adjusted backwards and forwards by loosening the fixing bolts to allow for larger boards in front of the blade. This does come at the inconvenience of the rail sticking out the front. This feels like a good compromise. So here we're looking underneath the sliding table. This is the adjusting block. In the manual it says the locking nut should go here. I don't think it really needs a locking nut because you adjust it and then you tighten the bolts that are holding this bracket on, so it can't go anywhere anyway. But these locking nuts were missing from the pack, so I replaced them with some that I had in my hardware box. These are too thick to actually go where it says in the manual to put them here, so I've put them underneath. You can also adjust the angle of the table with bolt here, and there's a captive grub screw the other side to push this up and down here. I've had to do this on one side just to get the table square with the actual surface here. These also in the manual said that they came with locking nuts, but there doesn't appear to be any, so I don't know if that's because they failed to put them on, or if this version perhaps they've decided they're not needed. I don't know. I then assembled the mitre gauge onto the sliding table. This has an integral tool post for a clamp. The clamp is cam based. It can be put into two different positions, so you can have it there, or for larger pieces of wood you can just push it forwards and move the knob to there. And the fence installs onto the mitre gauge. The angle of the sliding table is slightly wrong, but by loosening this nut you can then adjust this in and out, and that should help. The flagstop has got a micro adjuster. The little indentations here are 0.1 of a millimetre, so that's quite a handy thing. I was trying to work out how this measure worked because the numbers seem to go in the wrong direction. I would have expected them to count up as you go away from the blade, and they don't, they count down. I had a look in the manual and they should indeed count up as you move away from the blade. They've stuck it upside down. I've spoken to Axminster and they're sending me a new one, but it's another thing that was just slightly wrong. which is a bit annoying. So I'm really pleased with my sliding table. Yes, some of the parts have been faulty, like this fence here has got the tape stuck the wrong way round and there were a few nuts missing. But forgiving those things and the fact that Axminster, without any quibble, are sending me new parts, I am really happy that I purchased this optional sliding table. I haven't used it yet, so my verdict might change, but at the moment there's no play in the table. It seems to do exactly what I expected it to do, and I'm reasonably confident it's going to give me good service. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see my next video, which is going to be on unboxing and assembling the dust collection for this saw, then please subscribe and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, why not subscribe by clicking my logo? It's free and YouTube will add some of my videos to your feed. Thanks again for watching and I'll see you soon.